Welcome to Atlanta Tarot. This is the Tarot forecast for Cancer for the month of March, including late February 2025. So Cancer, we are in your cousin sign of Pisces. So the element is water. Similar vibe for you guys as it's emotions, intuition, all sorts of synchronistic events, people coming in from the past, all that kind of energy coming through for the next 4 weeks for you. You are in your 9th house of far horizons, travel, all those kind of philosophies, spiritual teaching, spiritual knowledge, being interested in that kind of stuff this next 4 weeks. So let's see what is on the cards for you. 8 of Pentacles, so very much the card of the Master's Apprentice, really getting in there, and maybe new opportunities coming up for you to spread your wings in your employment or whatever it is that you do for work, your day-to-day work. Master's Apprentice is a great card. It's usually for a mature person that's sort of already nailed down how to work and the formula for working, and then goes to try something different suddenly using that same formula. So that's why I call it the Master's Apprentice. It's about using a tried and true formula to sort of do something new perhaps in the work, especially in the work field, because this is what brings the money and the cash in, isn't it? It's a really great card overall to say that you're in a pretty strong place anyway, Cancer. Where you are right now, we have the King of Pentacles, which is always a great omen to have. He is tried and true. He is very dependable. He's sitting there. He could, whoever this person is to you, is sitting there in the midst of everything, keeping everything balanced and level. And you know, whenever he's around, you just know that decisions, etc., have to be made that really have some foresight with them, not just impulsivity with this one. He's very much he's a long haul sort of guy. He sees, the journey from A to Z. He doesn't just want to get to the end quickly. So great energy to have around, whoever he may be for you. Maybe your dad, your brother, your husband, partner, whatever. But a great card to start off with. Let's see the influencing card. And we have the breakthrough card with the Ace of Swords. So we get clarity coming through here. So looking really good. Whenever we get the aces, it's great in terms of new beginnings of a story, literally, or a short journey, because it's a minor card really, but it looks great. Clarity is there, plus your King of Pentacles, so there's nothing more you could want to say that you're on a good path at the moment. The background, January, February time, when we had the Chariot. So it's all about that balance. It's all about the emotional discipline of things. It's the positive and negative and getting that correct balance coming through. It's a journey card as well. I call it a journey card, a movement card, because these horses and this chariot that they're pulling is going on a journey. So we think of road tripping, we think of what we need, being sort of prepared for whatever is coming in your life for you, so that you've got everything sorted and you're not just kind of, oh, let's just wing it kind of energy. You can't really do that with the Chariot, because later on down the road you'll have a breakdown or a blowout or something will happen. So it's about preparedness, but it's about being emotionally disciplined as well for a journey. There we are, the journey, spiritual journey, real physical journey, whatever it is that's on your radar for this 4 weeks. Recent influences, and we have the Seven of Swords, a bit of jealousy around, a bit of self-deceit maybe from yourself, sort of talking yourself into a corner, or it may well be other people you know, projecting jealousy or deceit onto you, and you're sort of feeling it. We know what to do with that kind of energy, really. You just have to be, once again, prepared for it and just understand where that actually comes from. Jealousy, deceit, it comes from where it comes from. It doesn't, unless it comes from you, then you can do something about it. If it comes from somebody else, well, you can't really do much about other people's projections onto you, can you, Cancer? So there we go, but we've got that sitting there, so that's good to be mindful about that card always, especially when you're thinking, oh, what's that about? You know, what's that person's being a bit weird. That's when you kind of know, with this card present, there is a bit of a tinge of that going on, and you know how to deal with it, really, don't you? Let's go on to look at the lesson you're learning to see where else we're at with this. And we have the grief card. So the grief card is exactly what it says, heartbroken. These issues do come up in Pisces time too. Grief will often resurface again. It's there, so it's got to be embraced. It can't be avoided, because the more you avoid it, the worse it becomes. And saying, oh, everything's okay when it's not. Sometimes it's just self-deception in itself. So riding alongside you is grief. So let's just embrace grief and go, yeah, well, I do feel extremely barefoot about this issue, about this person, about this, what the loss that I have had, but I need to examine it. And when better time, really, in Pisces. In any of the water signs, it's really great to embrace these sort of hidden feelings of grief that surface every now and again. So there you have it. So we've got 3 lots of swords. So a lot of mind energy at the moment for you, Cancer. But, you know, I mean, you're emotional people. You know how to manage it. Got to embrace it. Got to use it for its best. What is best for you. Let's go into near future. And we have the 2 of Cups. So the soulmate card comes in, you know, sort of coming into contact with somebody that you really gel with, especially when you have this grief card here. It's really nice to sort of somehow connect with somebody else who may be in the same vein as you at the moment. So there is a connection there that is sparked. So it's a nice reward card to get, obviously, too. Especially if you're travelling. I think travelling too is a really good anecdote for grief as well, because it sort of gives you, you know, it just opens your mind up as to all the beauty of the world, as well as, you know, the suffering and the beauty. And it can kind of just distract you, even though you're bringing it with you, makes you feel a bit more whole. And then we can meet people or things that really come in here, soulmate kind of interactions that really help you on this particular journey that you're on this 4 weeks. What's happening that you're not realising? Page of Swords, so a little information gatherer, a little spy, if you like. Things up in the air a little bit here, where you're not quite sure where you're going. It's under the surface, though, and you're not realising it. Yeah, you have a few swords cards this month, so your mind is quite active. So you need to sort of bring it back down to its emotional home, that you Cancerians are very much water people. You go with feeling, not with the power of thought or the mind energy. Yeah, once again, this not self-belief, but a bit of self-deceit, maybe just feeling a bit up in the air, feeling a bit full of grief still. I know that a lot of you have had a bit of a rough trot recently. So there it is, sitting there, just a bit of a sort of air, bouncy air energy that doesn't really have any weight to it yet, any earth. So maybe we can take the energy around with the 8 of Pentacles and use that to get back to earth a bit more, Cancer, for you. How others see you. The Devil, so a bit stuck. a bit stuck. Capricorn energy, so that's your polar opposite card. Yeah, just feeling a bit stuck and chained to the same old, just a little bit where you need to sort of rein in some of the, can be addictions too, but we're human, we often go off on tangents with things, especially if things aren't going right. We kind of tend to lean on other things to prop ourselves up, and that's all right. That's how people are seeing you. Well, that's their affair, but what you're going through or what's been going on has been a bit heavy for you anyway. So as long as you remember to rebalance every now and again, it's going to be fine. We all go through that devil phase of just feeling stuck and disempowered for a while, and sort of leaning on sort of any kind of addictions or things that we really do a bit too much of that we shouldn't. Positive feelings, and we have Knight of Wands, so little journeys here and there, tripping around, having a bit of a good time. Like it said before, you know, just going on a trip somewhere if you can fit one in. Just, you know, sort of getting into that fast lane of sort of just being a bit whimsical there. You may have some short trips coming up, or a big trip that you're planning for, which would be good at this point too, for something to look forward to. So you're feeling quite positively upbeat here with the Knight of Wands. Very much a Sagittarian energy. So it's, and you are in the house of, ninth house is ruled by Sagittarius. So it's all about trips and movement and looking to the far horizons rather than dwelling on what's going on in your sort of backyard at the minute. Okay. And then at the end we have the Page of Wands. So good news is coming your way, ending up the 4-week period really well with the Page of Wands. It's the seedling card, I call it. So it's about new things coming in to make manifest. Of course, Wands is very much an action card. It's a progress card. It's a really wonderful card to have in any reading spread. So if you've been waiting on some good news, it's definitely coming. And if that's not the case for you, it's just a really good time to start new things and sort of really, and perhaps on trips or planning trips and things like that, that will be just something that really puts the spark back into your life. Clarification we'll put on that, and we have the cat. Excuse me. Abundance, independence, healthy boundaries, number 18. The cat reminds you of independence and to set healthy boundaries. Love with freedom. Do not look to own what you desire, for too much attachment can lead to loss. The cat lends its power to live freely and to remember that the adventure is just beginning. Don't forget that the cat has 9 lives and always lands on its feet. It manages to get up unscathed from a fall no matter what happens. On this leg of your journey, you will emerge safe and sound. Live freely, love without unhealthy attachment, and remember that with the cat as your companion, you may fully immerse yourself in life, for there will be many more lives to come. Thanks so much for listening, Cancer. I wish you a very good month.